Wildfires are common during the summer, especially here in the United States in California. So, why are wildfires dangerous, and how do they get to be that dangerous and spread? And how can you be prepared for one? That is coming up next on Weathering the Autism Storm. Welcome back to Weathering the Autism Storm, a weekly vlog where the forecast calls for different topics each week, from life hacks to science episodes to travel. I'm JP, your host. I am an autistic meteorologist, or in simpler terms, an autistic weatherman. Today, I'm going to talk about the science of wildfires, as fires are dangerous and even scary for some, especially if autistic. Being from California, wildfires are growing more common here every year, especially in drought years during the summer, and it has led to millions all over California and other places to be notified that they might be without power for days due to a possible wildfire. To have a fire, whether it be a huge wildfire or just lighting a match, you need 3 ingredients: fuel, oxygen, and heat. If you take or suppress one of these ingredients, the fire would die. For a wildfire, the fuel in nearly all the cases is vegetation, which is especially dry, and structures such as houses. The oxygen is supplied by the air, as the atmosphere on Earth is mostly comprised of nitrogen and oxygen and other elements and compounds. Finally, the heat source or ignition source is mostly lightning or from humans, such as electrical wiring or a gas leak or a cigarette that is dropped from the highway. So how does the weather add to fire? If the air is dry and hot, then it will dry the vegetation, which makes it more likely to burn. In addition, if a wind is blowing, then it will cause the fire to be able to be spread. And if the fire is close enough to a mountain or a hill, and the wind is blowing in the direction of the hill, then it will also help the fire grow, as the fire will preheat the fuel for the elevation. If it is a south or west facing slope, then the fires would be worse due to how the atmosphere works, especially with moisture. So how could conditions for wildfires be forecasted and warned? The National Weather Service in the United States currently issues red flag warnings and fire weather watches. Both are issued by the local National Weather Service office when certain criteria is forecasted to be met based on humidity, wind, temperature, and topography based on the forecast area. However, a red flag warning is for within the next 24 hours, while the fire weather watch is between 12 and 72. Currently, meteorologists also use an index called the Haines index to help with forecasting that if the temperature difference at 2 different heights, as well as the difference between the temperature and the dew point at a certain height or at a certain range. The Haines index goes from 2 to 6, with 2 to 4 generally indicative of unsupporting conditions, and 5 and 6 indicate a strong likelihood of dry, warm air enough for fires to grow. However, the Haines index has some flaws in which it does not take into consideration the wind, as previously mentioned, or the moisture content of the fuel. Meteorologists are currently trying to develop a new index to better forecast fire conditions. If a fire does start, firefighters are sent to stop the fire, with more firefighters from other counties and states, or even countries, are needed if the fire is big enough. In addition, special meteorologists called incident meteorologists, or IMETs for short, are sent to help give weather briefings to the crews on a continuous basis to help fight the fire. However, if the fire is still going after 2 weeks, the IMETs have to be replaced by fellow IMETs from other offices. So how can you be prepared if you have to evacuate from a coming wildfire? You should first take pictures of your belongings and place for insurance purposes. In addition, you should pack enough clothes, money, medicine, batteries, chargers for your phone, and papers for your evacuation, as it could be days or weeks if you have to evacuate and allowed to be back. In addition, you should make sure flammable materials are not kept close to the house if outside, in order to prevent, or at least try to prevent, the house from catching on fire. You can also be affected by wildfires without being close to one. This is because the smoke from a fire with high enough can travel in the air. In fact, a fire in Canada recently sent smoke all the way to New York and the East Coast due to the atmospheric currents, causing the sky to be darker and making the sun appear red. In addition, the smoke after traveling a distance can be trapped and affect the air quality, especially in valleys. Here's an example from a fire that was north of me last year and led to bad air quality and brownish/orange skies for days where I was. And that is the science of wildfires and how to be safe if one does happen. And you need to evacuate. If you find these tips to be helpful or know more, please comment them below. Like, comment, and subscribe, and help share my vlog, as I am hoping to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. Also, check out my previous episodes as I cover topics from life, tips such as budgeting and meal planning, to other scientific educational videos on tornadoes, to autism education, to episodes of my travels including flights. And I'll see you next time on Weathering the Autism Storm.